Wow, what a way to start the second half of the final season. Hello, I'm Nick, and this is another Better Call Saul breakdown. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment on the video. Spoiler warning, let's get started. The episode begins in typical Better Call Saul fashion, with an unrelated, ambiguous scene that doesn't have context until the end of the episode. In this case, it was Howard's car on a beach with his shoes floating in the ocean. When I saw Howard's car, I thought it was either A, they fake Howard's death, which turned out to be true, or B, Lalo or Kim took Howard's car and booked it for whatever reason. I wasn't sure, but it turned out my first guess was correct. I thought the episode would begin with a Gene flash forward, since that is what the promotional photos of the episode included, but they've been faking us out with the promotional photos, and they don't always correspond to the episode that it's released with. It's been all but officially confirmed that Jeff, the cab driver, in the flash forwards, will be recast, which is an absolute tragedy and will definitely diminish the value of the show for sure. Jeff recognized Gene in the season 4 opener, Smoke, and made him as Saul Goodman in the season 5 opener, Magic Man. Saul tells Ed, the vacuum repairman, this information and decides to deal with Jeff himself. Now, when we finally get the payoff of the Gene story that they've been setting up for years, they recast Jeff, which will ruin the immersion to the story as a result. We're then back into Saul's apartment, where we last left Saul, Kim, Lalo, and a dead Howard. Lalo tells Saul to go to Gus's house and shoot him, but Saul says Kim should go, and he does this so that Kim has a chance to escape, and Kim knows this, which is why she's reluctant to go because she's scared for Saul, but ends up going anyway. Kim leaves and Lalo ties up Saul and reveals that Nacho tried to have Lalo killed and assassinated Lalo's family and friends as a result. Lalo suspects Saul is culpable in this scheme because Nacho introduced Saul to him. Lalo ties up and gags Saul and then leaves. It's understood at this point that Lalo's plan is slightly more intricate than he has let on. On the way to Gus's house, Kim rolls down her window and is about to ask a couple of police officers for help, but changes her mind. She drives to Gus's house and walks to the front door. If you didn't already watch Breaking Bad, you'd still understand that Kim is hopeless in the situation to kill Gus because of his intricate and ironclad security he has at his home. Mike and his guys grab Kim and take her inside the house. She explains what happened, and Mike brings some guys to Saul and Kim's apartment. At this point, you're almost worried what Gus will do to Kim now that she knows so much. Mike arrives at the apartment, and Saul says Lalo left right after Kim. Mike is distressed by this information because he understands that him being at Saul's apartment is all part of Lalo's plan. And he is right, because when Gus asks Kim over the phone, she explains that Saul convinced Lalo to send her and not him. Gus knew that Lalo didn't intend to have Saul or Kim kill him because he wouldn't have been so inconsequential about who would go. Out of suspicion and curiosity, Gus leaves with some men and goes to the laundry. Lalo is at the laundry and sneaks inside, thanks to the classic "the security guard that's supposed to be watching the monitor left the room for a moment" scene, and is hiding inside. When Gus and his men arrive, Lalo kills the bodyguards and has Gus show him the secret meth lab under the laundromat. While Lalo monologues and records Gus with his camcorder, he allows Gus to monologue himself until Gus is able to kick a cord on the ground to turn off the lights, and then run to the bulldozer where he randomly planted the gun a few episodes ago. I called it when he planted that gun that he was going to kill Lalo with it, because the decision was so random and sixth sensey, but that's been kind of Gus's thing throughout the show if you haven't noticed it. He's always thinking 5, 6, 7, 8 steps ahead. We see Mike bury Lalo and Howard, but notably not the other men that Lalo killed. I wonder why they weren't buried with Lalo and Howard, and where exactly they are. They're probably just buried some other place, we just didn't see them because they're not important characters, which is kinda silly if you ask me, but nevertheless. Back at the apartment, Saul is reunited with Kim. They get a new refrigerator, and Mike tells them the plan, which is to basically contact the police and pretend nothing happened. I'm curious if Kim and Saul will have a difficult time dealing with and managing the trauma this experience caused them. Obviously, Saul is sort of over the whole ordeal in Breaking Bad, but who is to say how this will affect Kim? All in all, what a great episode. Now the Nacho, Howard, and Lalo storylines are all wrapped up. All that's left is to see what happens to Kim Wexler and her relationship with Saul. We also need to see when and how Walt and Jesse will appear in the final episodes, and what exactly does Gene Takovic have in store for Jeff the cab driver. Thank you for watching. Again, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Peace out.